Jeff and I decided to have another baby when our youngest was 6 years old.
All my buddies were texting me, hope it's a girl, my boys are gonna date your daughter, you know, she's gonna be a cheerleader, you know, all the razzing that goes along with that. And it was great. And it was just like, we went into this kind of like, yeah, not a big deal.
So we found out we were having girls and super excited. First girls on both sides. Emma was born 3 months before Ramsey, and nobody knew that Ramsey was going to be a girl. So Corey was stashing clothes in my closet and all the pink frilly girl things that I was saving for her so nobody would find out that she was a girl. And she took Emma at the baby shower and said, "You're going to be best friends."
We all assembled in the waiting room that day in the labor and delivery. As we waited and our excitement grew, knowing that we would meet the newest Keller, too much time was passing.
I will never forget the last picture taken when I was pregnant with Ramsey. I was in the bed, had my gown on, and he was beside me, and it's us smiling, and it is the most heartbreaking.
The baby was delivered. This time I had enough courage to look over the wall and see that Ramsey was completely purple.
After we had Ramsey, then you ran to my side and said, "Babe, she's not breathing. We have to pray." And the anesthesiologist bowed his head and he said, "I'll join you." And Jeff prayed, over Ramsey and over me. And it was a very vulnerable moment, knowing that that prayer might not be answered.
The anticipation of knowing what our newest Keller was going to be named instantly changed from what is the new baby's name to what is happening with the new baby. And Jeff shared with us that Ramsey Jo Keller had been born, and she was quickly taken to the NICU to begin her recovery. And we were so hopeful.
It's going to be fine. Ramsey's going to be fine. She's going to lose her fluid. We're going to be okay.
She was doing really well. She was breathing over her vent, and she actually was urinating on her own and all of these things. And the boys got to come up and, oh man, they drew on her whiteboard, and the nurses loved them. And it was some of our favorite pictures that we have of them.
She was like holding her tiny little hand. That was pretty sweet. I mean,
all took a picture around her too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a glass box. It was pretty shocking to see at first, just your little sister in this tiny little box. And they're like, "No, it'll be okay, it'll be okay."
I was laying in bed. I had a very restless night. It was just a couple hours later, a nurse literally just shoved me into a wheelchair and said, "Your baby, your baby, your baby," and started running me down the hallway into the NICU. And I said, "Stop, I need to call my husband."
You just said, "It's Ramsey, get here now." Something along those lines. I don't know how I got there, and I don't know how I got there so fast.
We were watching everybody work on her, and all of the nurses were crying, and they were taking turns trying to resuscitate her and breathe life into her. And the NICU doctor came over and told us that if we unplug all of her cords and wrap her up as quickly as we can, she'll still be warm to the touch and may take some last minute breaths, holding her. And so that's what we decided to do. The first time I got to hold her was the last time I got to hold her. Yeah, when you say hello and goodbye in the same breath, it's heartbreaking.
And when I opened that door to the hospital room where they were, Corey was holding the baby, and I heard the boys just excited. They were like, "Oh." And then they felt the sadness in the room, and they realized that she had passed.
Having to tell your living children, that the baby, that their sibling that we were all so excited about didn't make it was, top 3 worst moments in my life.
I remember the day that I was able to ask Corey if she thought Ramsey would be a tomboy or if she thought Ramsey would be a girly girl. I used to not want to say her name because I didn't want to hurt Corey. And it's just the opposite. You want to say her name. You don't ever want to stop saying Ramsey, because now it's a beautiful thing.
You can't go anywhere in Montana without seeing a pink license plate, and super cool. You see all the people who support us, and it's just really cool to see.
They've made this like silent grief visible, and now you have this community of people.
All of this has come from a tiny little baby because we didn't want to stop saying her name.
The people that Ramsey has touched and the lives that have been changed through the Ramsey Keller Memorial is just phenomenal.
She changed the world. She's changing lives, and she'll never be forgotten.